So ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's my honor to introduce Mayor Gregory P. Kurtz.
Well, how was lunch? Father Matt, how was lunch? I just want to make sure, Father Matt, I didn't forget you. Before we begin the State of the City, I want to pause to recognize Vice Mayor Dave Grindell. Dave, where are you? This is not the way to start a speech when the person you're going to recognize, you can't even find him. And where is he? Getting some food. Taking me off my game right away. That's great, Dave. Dave, he's wrapping up his term as vice mayor this year. He's joined by his wife of 39 years, Carrie. They're proud parents of 4, Katie, Dan, Matt, and Joyce, and grandparents of 10 and another on the way. And Joyce is my neighbor, so and my boys, where'd they go? And the girls, where'd they go? Shipped them off, okay. Katie's my neighbor. Hey, don't get mad at me. She's mad at me now. That's an inside story. Dave has been a public servant and peacemaker, and today seems like a good time to look at Dave's life and career in independence. The video. Dave Grindell has served as vice mayor since 2016. Currently, he also serves as chair of the Finance Committee and Planning Commission, and is a member of both the Safety and Streets and Sidewalks committees. He grew up in Independence and graduated from Independence High School, where he was a basketball and baseball star. Dave's basketball accolades include All-District, First Team All-Conference, Blue Devils Most Valuable Player. He scored more than 1,000 points in his career, and Dave led the Blue Devils to the district championship. Since 1986, Dave has been practicing law in Independence. He began his public service career serving on the Independence School Board, where he served from 1984 through 1991, and again in 1993. He has served on Independence City Council from January 2000 through December 2009. In 2014, Dave was re-elected to council and has served as vice mayor since 2016. Now, Dave, if you'd come up here for a proclamation. On behalf of a grateful community, I want to present a proclamation to our vice mayor and my friend, Dave Grindell. Dave, you want to say a few words?
Just a few, Mayor, just a few. I couldn't be here without my wonderful partner and my, well, try not to, but we're 39 years together as far as in marriage, and a few years before that gone together, but her family and the Divis family and our family has loved this community for many years. We love the people that have been here. We try to not have many enemies and everything, although in politics that's not easy, but yeah, my goal is always to try to move the city forward, kind of like the mayor, just be as positive as can be and try to treat people with the respect. And that's the way I practice law, and sometimes I probably should be a little more assertive, but that's not my nature. But and I want to thank my wonderful children and my spouses, to Heather here, and Dave Nabrowski's not here, but they've really I'm blessed with a beautiful family, and again, we'll be seeing everybody. I won't be coming to too many meetings there. You won't see me, but I will definitely be at the city's disposal if anything that needs to be done is positive. Mayor, you've done a great job. I've been blessed because I've enjoyed all 3 mayors I worked under. Greg here these last few years under trying times with the pandemic and everything else, and with Vern being in finances, came at the right time because we were, when our previous finance director left, we were kind of struggling a little bit. But your staff, Maggie and everything too, kept the finances in good shape. And like I say, we're all blessed. We have the best services in Cuyahoga County, and appreciative to the mayor and your staff. And what's really nice is these last 8 years, the staff you put together, your team, tremendous people, and I thank all of them, from the chief that I see walking in, everything to everybody else, and again, Dara, tremendous. Debbie Beal, who I know Debbie was here too. She was fantastic. There's Debbie. I mean, working with her, she really does a super job and keep us on our toes and keep us on the straight and narrow. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. It was a really complete surprise. I didn't expect to have a big to-do today and everything, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We got you.
You sure did. You sure did.
Despite the challenges of the past few years, Independence has proven to be resilient. We have met the moment and maintained our momentum to emerge stronger and more focused on the future. My title is Mayor and Safety Director, but I consider my role to be the city's steward and advocate. I believe the best way to do that is to listen, learn, and lead. Running a city has changed a lot since I first was elected mayor. What has changed, hasn't changed is our vision. And to always, and I mean always, to be planning for the future and future generations. It's about building relationships and goodwill between residents, government, businesses, schools, civic leaders, and other stakeholders. Today, I have a lot of great accomplishments that I want to talk about and keep this program moving. Today's presentation will provide a good overview, and after the program, we will have the Independent State of the City fact sheet. Wait a minute. State of the City fact sheet available when you leave, or it'll be on the city's posted on the website, so take one on your way out. Let me start by talking about the news regarding the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've been a phenomenal partner since 2007 and will continue to be for a number of years. As a matter of fact, till 2026, because they're moving downtown in a joint agreement with the Cleveland Clinic and land bought by Dan Gilbert to create a city within a city. And so they're going to have a riverfront development, a sports arena, entertainment venue, world-class medical and wellness facility, and residential housing. Let me say this, though. We own the land the facility is on, so it's going to take, we have several years to figure out what to do with it. So we'll continue our partnership till the end of 2026, and then we'll see what happens. So stay tuned. Next, new housing. The housing on the property the city purchased last year from Concordia Lutheran Church. The city has a unique opportunity to purchase that property and establish a neighborhood of limited maintenance, single-family homes nestled in the heart of downtown Independence. I think it's worth repeating that the city will not use its eminent domain authority to purchase any of the property for the development. I'm proud of my team and the time they've invested in conducting the necessary due diligence required for this type of project. The city has started vetting potential developers, determine the best possible design and living options for this new neighborhood. Again, we have preliminary plans on the way, but again, stay tuned. And as many of you know, Independence continues to have one of the lowest tax rates in Cuyahoga County. That's good news for the business community and the residents. As you know, Independence, we've had an outstanding level of the best services and amenities that a city can provide. And that's due to a lot of hard work by a lot of people. Some of them represented here today in terms of the department heads and also the employees that work every day so hard on your behalf. Here at the Civic Center, which I like to call the crown jewel of the city, quality of life activities, events, and programs are a priority. Please welcome Emily Thomas, the Community Services Director. Under Emily's leadership, Community Services continues to motivate and engage residents to participate in a variety of educational and life-enriching programs and activities. Emily?
Good afternoon, everyone. As the mayor shared, my name is Emily Thomas. I am the Community Services Director and have had the privilege of serving the City of Independence for the last 2 years. And while there's a lot that's happened since the mayor's stay of the city last year, the 3 key things still all boil down to the same 3 key things: people, places, and purpose. So let's start with people. As the wants and needs of our residents and our community continue to grow, evolve, and change, our community services team has to do the same. So it's my pleasure to introduce you, and you'll see their faces on the screen, to 3 new community services team members. First is Aaron Spencer, who is promoted from a part-time to a full-time assistant youth program coordinator and continues to elevate our youth and family programming here at the Civic Center. Next is Amy Miller, who's our new community services coordinator, who plays a key administrative role in our team, as well as focusing on young and active adult programs, activities, events, and services. Last but not least is Bill Harvey, who joined our team in July as a youth program coordinator and leads Indie Kids Club, which many of you know as before school, after school, and all day care. Their incredibly valuable and diverse professional and life experiences, passion for serving the community, and their high quality of character make them excellent additions to the community services team. Moving on to places. If the Civic Center is the heart of Independence, the kitchen is the heart of the Civic Center. If you direct your attention to the screen, you will see before and in progress photos of the Civic Center kitchen renovation. We are excited about how this renovation will afford us the opportunity to expand and elevate our current program offerings in a sustainable way, as well as provide an even better experience for those residents and caterers who use our kitchen for a variety of room reservations. If you're wondering or if you're experiencing a little bit of deja vu, yes, I said the exact same thing at the mayor's stay of the city last year. But the kitchen renovation project, while it's taken a little bit longer than we originally anticipated, the most important thing wasn't just getting the project done, but was getting it done at the highest quality level and in the right and most fiscally responsible way. And sometimes that just takes time. But we're excited that the renovation is scheduled to be completed at the end of this month. Finally, and maybe most importantly, our purpose. The purpose of community services is to enrich the lives of residents. And to fulfill that mission, we rely on feedback from the people that we serve, you, our beloved residents. Whether it's a survey regarding drive-through lunches, idea camp, summer playground, summer concert series, young and active adults, or the list goes on and on and on, I'm sure everyone in this room has seen, heard, or taken one of these surveys. I can't begin to convey how much we, our community services team, appreciate those of you who've taken the time to share your thoughts, comments, and feedback with us. Everything we do in community services, whether that's elevating or expanding our programs, activities, events, or services, is a direct reflection of the results of those surveys. So thank you for allowing us, the people, to serve you here at the Civic Center, the place, and the opportunity to enrich your lives, our purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Now, the only way to keep pace with the fast-changing world is to keep raising the bar. That's something I believe in, and so does Police Chief Robert Butler. He spent 10 weeks this summer at the FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia, for training in intelligence theory, behavioral sciences, law, and other public safety methods and skills. He was among a hand-picked group of international law enforcement officers invited to participate in this intensive 10-week program. Since he joined us 2 years ago, Chief Butler has made a number of significant city operations improvements, including how the officers serve and protect our community through training, technology, and innovation. Please welcome Chief Robert Butler.
Thank you so much for having me. It's truly my honor to speak about our police officers in this city. Every day, you guys turn on the news, you know things are getting crazy out there. It's a tough job being in law enforcement in this day and age. We are truly blessed to have officers that work so hard for the city every day. This year, I just don't want to talk about it. I want to show you some of the proactive measures that our officers take to show the criminals that Independence is not open for business for them. Let's play the first one. This is one of my officers doing a proactive enforcement. He saw a suspicious car in the area on Rockside Road. You'll see that car in front of him right there with the headlights. With the taillights, apologies. This person, in an attempt to get away from our officer who has his lights and siren activated, chooses to put innocent civilians at risk, innocent motorists, by going across a median and attempting to go up the wrong way of a highway exit. My officer, without hesitation, pit maneuvers this vehicle by taking out the back of his car, putting his own safety to the side to make sure that the innocent motorists are protected. Shortly after this, all of the occupants of this vehicle fled this stolen car that was in our city, no doubt to commit other crimes. But the proactive nature of my officers made sure that this person was stopped before anybody was injured. Now, the next video, just to catch you up, it might be a little loud when it first plays, is our brand new body cam footage of one of the officers in pursuit of one of these suspects.
Hey, come here! Get over here! I'm gonna tase you! I'm gonna tase you! I'm gonna tase you, bro! Get over here! Now! Smart. All right, be cool with me. I will. All right. 17's got one in the Crown Center parking lot. All right. You're good.
These are not one-off incidents. Every occupant of that vehicle was arrested. Taken in front of the judge, yes, of course. Our officers worked very hard. The professionalism that this officer showed was exceptional. You can see with the high amount of training that our officers do, they know when to turn it on, they know when to turn it off. But I will say one thing. I can show you a video like this, and most of the videos that I would have, our officers are doing a really, really great job. And this is a very clean, solid video. Police work's not always clean. I really love the City of Independence, not only for your support, but your continued appreciation for what we do. Your support, we need that when it's clean like this. We need it when it's not so clean. The work of police officers is dirty work. We deal with criminals that want to do crimes in this city. So I applaud these officers for doing what they do. But this isn't it. Can you show the next slide, please? There's not another video, sorry. Oh, I got you all ready. You're like, this is an episode of Cops. This is great. That was it. That was the last fun video for you today. I want to talk about some of the award-winning crime prevention that our officers are doing. Over there on the left is Officer Maletti. He is one of our newer officers. He received a prestigious award from the U.S. Marshals. He received the Part-Time Officer of the Year award for his efforts in hunting down criminals that had not yet been serving their time or seen a judge. Directly, he has solved many of our crimes himself using technology, proactive enforcement, using our SWAT team. One of those criminals is on the far right inside that car. If you recall, last year we had an armed robbery at one of our gas stations of a resident. The judge chose to give this individual house arrest and give him an ankle monitor. That person cut their ankle monitor and was on the loose. Our officer hunted down this fugitive and brought him to justice. That's him in the back of the car right there. In the middle, we have 3 officers that saw a suspicious vehicle, lights off, operating around the Rockside Road area. They engaged that car. One of their cars was struck as they were trying to box that car in. All occupants were arrested. They received an award not only for their proactive enforcement, but for teamwork. They worked together. That is one of the big staples when I came on here. We wanted to make sure the shifts felt as a family. We work together as a team. We are a family. And by doing so, we see that proactive nature of our officers making a true impact on the safety of this community. Next slide, please. Where are the results? I'll show you the results. Last year, we had 22 theft from autos in the residential community. This year, we've had 0 successful theft from autos in the residential community. Now, recently, of course, 2 days ago, right before I give this speech, we had some no good individuals trying to steal from some of our local cars, but our residents helped out. It's a partnership, community and the police. They locked their car doors. They made sure there was nothing inside their cars to take. Somebody tried a door handle and they moved on. We had no theft from autos. We've had 0 this year. I attribute this to the proactive nature of our officers taking the fight to the criminals before they make it to our residential communities, before they affect the businesses in their parking lots or inside their businesses. Also, we've had 0 stolen resident cars. I will tell you the one thing that we did have. You saw a news story. I know you all saw it. I see things on Facebook. I know that you saw it. Go ahead and do the next slide, please. You saw that we had 25 cars broken into on Rockside Road, 2 cars stolen. I can't prevent all crime. Our officers can't prevent all crime, but I can tell you this. Our officers are highly intelligent. We adapt, we change, we learn, we get ahead of the criminal element. So you saw this, but what you did not see was the second part of the story. Next day, we had put up a camera, a blue light camera, at Rockside Road. I talked to my partners at the Highway Patrol, other areas. We enacted overtime details, including an undercover detail. We arrested 2 of these thieves the next day trying to break into cars in another parking lot. We have not had another incident since. We get ahead of the crime. So the main note that I want to make here is we're on it. Sometimes they might get us here or there. We are in an area where criminals might pass. We have the highways. We have areas around us. But with this proactive nature of our officers, being able to adapt, learn, have technology, and most importantly, the support of the residents, the mayor, the city council, we can work together to make sure we curb any of that before it happens anymore. The next slide here, it's not all crime today that I'm going to talk about. I like to say one thing about my department. When I was there at the 10 weeks of training, I would like to say that our officers have a warrior mindset. We're ready for what might happen in this city, but our heart is in the community. You can see this here with our community outreach. We're in the parks, our bicycle officer handing out stickers. We're at Fall Fest. We're inside the schools, talking, reading to our children. Next slide. We're at lemonade stands, tasting some of the most delicious lemonade in the area. It was good stuff. There's one of our canine units. We're at the pool. Our SROs are there. And I will make one note. You know, we always say we have our 2 SROs that the city fully funds for our schools to help keep our children safe, but we don't just have 2 SROs. Our officers, many of which live in this city, their children are inside those schools. Each and every one of them is an SRO. They watch our children. They watch their own children. They're at the baseball games. They're at the soccer games watching their kids. We have officers embedded in this community. And I'm proud to say this year we did receive an award from the Ohio Association of Chiefs of Police for our community service efforts, winning Department of the Month for July for innovation in community outreach with our programming for self-defense for seniors, or self-defense for females, and our Teen Safe Driver program, which not only taught safe driving habits for our teenagers, but also taught them what it was like to be a cop, pull over a car, see things from our perspective. No other community was doing this, and I'm very proud of our officers' fine efforts in this. Lastly, I want to talk about training. The mayor mentioned that I just returned from 10 weeks of extensive training. I feel great, happy to be home, happy to see my wife, and most importantly, but I'm just happy to be back here. I'm not the only one training. Our officers, we give opportunities to our officers to grow their skills, to develop and enhance what they do day to day. some of which last year I mentioned CIT training, Crisis Intervention Team training. This is dealing with people in crisis, people dealing with mental health issues. I promised you that we would have 100% of our department through this training by the end of 2024. We're already at 75% of our department through this important training. A-RIDE is Advanced Roadside Impaired Driver. That's to detect if somebody's on drugs while they're driving, in addition to taking people that are driving impaired with alcohol. Leadership training, we host several right here in this room. Jiu-jitsu training, we want to make sure our officers can handle themselves, not just rely on their weapons, but be able to handle themselves in hand-to-hand combat. Crash investigation, firearms, the list goes on. Independence has opportunities for officers, and that's why we are fully staffed. Our department, as opposed to most you hear this on the news all the time, do you not? Police departments have trouble hiring. Police departments can't fill their ranks. Not Independence. Independence is fully staffed. Why? I'm going to repeat it again. We have the support of you, the residents. We have the support of the business community. We have the support of the mayor and the safety director. We have the support of our finance director, Vern Blaze, and our city council. By having that, people want to work here. They want to come here. When we get a list, it is quite long, but we only take the best. They need to be the right fit for Independence. They need to be the right fit to work with these officers that are out there doing their job for you every single night. I just want to close and say that I've really appreciated the 2 years that I've gotten to work here. I look forward to a very long future, continuing to innovate and do new things here for this community. And I get the honor of kicking it over to Angie Zadanek, who is our clerk of courts. She's on video. I know she's in person, but this is video Angie. I am kicking it over to video Angie. Video Angie.
Thanks, Chief. And I'd just like to start off by saying what a great working relationship we have between the police department and the mayor's court, which includes Mayor Kurtz, Prosecutor William Doyle, and part-time assistant Claire Rieger. And you've been keeping us very, very busy. Over the last 2 years, there's been a 97% increase in mayor's court cases. And in this year alone, we've seen a 20% increase from last year and a 40% increase in drunk driving cases alone. I know the mayor wants to keep things moving, so let me just address a few of the ways that the Independence Mayor's Court stands apart from other mayor's courts. Our court has always taken the initiative to act as an agent for prevention, education, growth, and change in the community. Keeping people out of the court system has been a long-standing goal. We financially support the school's addition of a licensed social worker within the buildings to assist administrators and staff with the challenges they face, and to provide mental health services for students in our district. Students and families have received help in dealing with anxiety, depression, trauma, suicide prevention, stress management, substance use, just to name a few, and everything is kept confidential. In 1999, the mayor organized a community partnership between the city, schools, churches, students, parents, and businesses aimed at addressing the societal issues that are impacting young people. Building on our successes, the group decided to take a multi-generational approach and update our name from 25 and Alive to Indy Alive. Our new mission is to care for, support, and inspire our whole community through every stage of life. This fall, Indy Alive will be hosting a social media semester, which includes many activities and events for all ages to learn how social media directly impacts our community and our overall well-being. There will be multiple showings of the Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma. There will be coffee and conversations centered around the book, Behind Their Screens, What Teens Are Facing and Adults Are Missing, and a social media town hall on November 29th. Stay tuned for more information in the coming weeks. And now back to Mayor Kurtz. Thank you.
Thank you, Police Chief Butler and Clerk of Courts Angie Zadanek. The police and court system typically deal with people who are not having their best day. The same is true about the Independence Fire Department. The paramedics and firefighters usually meet people during one of the most difficult times of their lives. They're either in a car accident, they're having a medical emergency, or their house is on fire. I'm so proud of Chief Riga and his team of first responders. Because of their professionalism and training, they know how to comfort people and keep them calm when they deliver life-saving services. Residents often call me to compliment the fire department and the service and care that they receive. The group over in that corner, great job, guys. Thank you. Now let's check in with Chief Steve Riga over at the fire department.
Welcome to the Independence Fire Station. I'm Chief Steve Riga. In June of this year, the department promoted 2 new officers, Lieutenants Jason Fall and Austin Dapsis. These 2 promotions allow us to have at least 1 officer on duty at all times. Currently, the officers are doing great in their new positions, and they are working through additional classes in fire inspection and in firefighter instruction. So next, let's talk about training. To stay sharp at what we do, we are always training and learning about changes in our industry. Some of those changes include new vehicle construction and lithium-ion batteries. In the case of lithium-ion batteries, we have to deal with electric vehicles. Some are controlled by key fobs and others by the owner's cell phone. So it's not always easy to determine if the vehicle is in a safe condition and turned off. We have a new device which we purchased this year called the emergency plug. Once deployed, this device doesn't allow the vehicle to be moved. In most vehicles, when they're charging, it locks out the drive system and disengages the high voltage system, making it safe for firefighters to work around and to assist the occupants. It has 2 different types, type 1 and type 2, and it also has an adapter to be used on Teslas. Today, lithium-ion batteries are used in all types of devices and in vehicles. When they are damaged or overcharged, they cause a very serious fire, which are hard to extinguish. The department has been very proactive in trying to learn about how to deal with these lithium battery fires. Recently, we purchased 3 different suppression devices to assist us. A car fire blanket, which covers the car and suppresses the gases and vapors. An electric vehicle cooling system, which helps cool the undercarriage where the battery is located. And various containment systems for smaller batteries, such as scooters and skateboards. In July of this year, the department conducted extrication training. In this training, we learned about modern vehicles and the many hazards they pose to firefighters, like high-strength steel, more airbags, and high-voltage electrical systems. During this training, we learned how to safely and effectively secure and cut apart vehicles to gain access to the driver and passengers. The year started off with increased interest in CPR and AED training. This was following the pro football incident with Damar Hamlin. As an example, this past week, 2 of our lieutenants met with the Cleveland Cavaliers staff members to discuss emergency action plans at the Cleveland Clinic Kurtz. The emergency action plan will help to facilitate and organize our Cavaliers and their employees during a workplace emergency. The department has 6 certified CPR instructors on staff, and we're always willing to host classes for our local community groups and local businesses. And finally, the department just took delivery of a new utility task vehicle, or UTV. The vehicle will be utilized on the Hemlock Trail and other areas of the national park for search and rescue operations. Back to you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Chief Riga. Now let's switch gears and talk about economic development. I want to turn your attention to the screen where you'll see a list of businesses that have either moved into Independence or expanded their operations since 2020. That's quite an impressive list, wouldn't you say? And they all help with the quality of life for all our residents. Economic Development Director Jessica Heiser joins us to talk about a few minutes about different projects going on that she's been working on with her team. Jessica.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. The Economic Development Department has some great news to share with the community this afternoon. Next month, CBIZ will be moving into their new state-of-the-art office building that reflects how companies and their employees work in a post-pandemic world. I'd like to thank Brian Antonius, who's here with us today, and the entire CBiz team. Please share our appreciation and congratulations on this major feat. Last year at this time, the city was in discussion with Faber-Castell, an international pencil and craft maker, about relocating its Cleveland headquarters to the City of Independence in a building that was not yet under construction. This past week, Faber-Castell celebrated the opening of this new facility on Rio Negro Drive off East Pleasant Valley. They are occupying 140,000 square feet of the new 260,000 square foot building. The other tenant, Millcraft Paper Company, will occupy the remaining 114,000 square feet. The entire building was built and fully leased before being delivered, which is an amazing accomplishment. Thank you, Joe Barna and Don Fisher, for bringing this project to the City of Independence. Weltman, Weinberg, and Reese, a national collections law firm, will be locating its headquarters to Independence and is committed to bringing $20 million and a significant workforce to the city. This exciting addition absorbs one of the last remaining large chunks of existing available office space along the busy Rockside Road corridor. With much excitement, the city officially welcomed MAI Capital to the City of Independence in 2022. In their short time here in the city, they've catapulted the top of our list of top taxpayers, currently in the top 5 list, well exceeding their initial payroll commitment. Not only that, but MAI has become a trusted partner and engaged in the community. This past year, they hosted a group of teachers and a financial class from our high school. Thank you, Jim and Lisa and your teams. We are proud that you call Independence home, and thank you for your continued partnership. Garland Industries, known globally for its roofing systems, relocated its headquarters to Independence and is also making a big impact on the city in its short time here, being amongst one of our largest employers. Economic development is more than just corporate wins and losses or simply looking at payroll figures. It's also about planting seeds for the future. If those seeds are cultivated and nurtured properly, great things can also come. We have planted seeds. The city partnered with the Independence local schools and hosted a small group of teachers for what we called the Road to Readiness. This small group of teachers took a day and traveled to several local businesses to understand more deeply about career paths and the skills employers are seeking in their future workforce. This day was so successful that we will be repeating it again this academic year, but with all of the teachers. Thank you, Ben and the school board, for supporting this work and helping us bridge the gap between high school education and the workforce. We've also been building our relationships with the commercial brokers. Last November, we hosted a group of brokers right here at the Civic Center to share with them what great things are happening in Independence and discuss opportunities for development and learn more about what they're seeing in the marketplace so that we can all better align. This meeting was also highly successful. Many of those brokers are here with us today, and I'd like to thank them for thinking of Independence and being such great partners. Abram Schwartz, Maureen Ressler, Alex Russo, Joe Barna, somehow that was a tongue twister, sorry, Joe, Claire Coyne, Dick Pace, and I apologize if I overlooked anyone. Our brokers know how important it is to navigate confidently a busy business corridor. The city is investing in wayfinding. You may have noticed the first layer of the program rolling out this past month along Rockside Road. With the help of Guide Studios, we've developed a color-coded quadrant system to help those visiting our bustling business district more confidently make travel decisions. As we navigate in a world of remote work, we are also looking to better understand what makes the office environment more interesting for our company's employees. This fall, we launched Food Truck Mondays to help entice workers back to the office. While this may seem like a small amenity, events like this can be the differentiator between communities, and Independence strives to be on the winning side. Thank you.
Next, a man who needs no introduction, our finance director, Vern Blaze.
Mayor, thank you for giving me this opportunity to present here for a few minutes on city's finances. It's a subject near and dear to my heart. A couple other thank yous too, though. Thank you for my wife Lana being here, all my guests at the finance table too, and really all of you here today to just taking the time to be here to celebrate this wonderful community that we have. My finance team, they insisted that I wear green today. Of course, money, green. So let me call that finance team out, because the things I'm going to talk about for the next few seconds, we couldn't do it without them. They're just such a great team, day in and day out, executing the task at hand. So Maggie, got to be here somewhere. She's behind the curtain. See, she never wants the publicity. There she is. All right, Dennis, good. You came back. He had to go do a transaction for us. He had to go sell an asset for us. And then Molly and Anissa. So that's the finance team, and that's who's responsible for all of this. So, all right, let's get to it. Bottom line, cut to the chase. Pure and simple, the city's doing quite well financially right now. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let's look at what a couple other entities have said and saying about the city's finance. And we have that up right there. That's the Moody's slide there. And Moody's, big rating agency, they rate us just like all of us have their own personal credit ratings. You could go and see what your score is. We have the same. We were a AA1. That's the second highest rating of that Moody's gives out. And they came to re-rate us in December last year to see if they were going to increase it, keep it the same, or knock it down a few notches, given some challenges out there. But after evaluating the city's financial position, they affirmed that AA1 credit rating, that second highest credit rating available. And you don't have to read it all. You could see it. But if some of it's not highlighted in yellow, but there's a couple key words in there that just, it speaks to the success we've had. City's healthy financial reserves, strong liquidity. We ultimately view the city's financial position to be healthy. Substantial restricted balances, reserves will remain solid, substantial budget flexibility. City has been repaying bonded debt early. So Moody's gets it. And the next one is the Ohio Auditor of State. And we submit our audited financial statements to the state every year, and they pour through them upwards, down, backwards, forwards, in and out. And they come up with 17 financial health indicators based on their analysis of the entity's finances that they're looking at. And for 2022, they gave the City of Independence 16 of 17 green positive indicators based on our financial health. And you might ask, well, Moody's, in the Moody's slide, they give some of the reasons why they rated our credit rating so high. And then you'll ask, okay, why did the Auditor of State rate Independence's financial health so good? And I'm sure there's a number of factors that they look at. They got 17, but we'll just go quickly. I know I got to go coach 40-some kids here pretty soon for the cross-country team, so we can't stay here too long. But there's just three I want to emphasize, and it's really easy for even non-finance people to understand. Outstanding debt. You could see the arrow, green arrow going down. When Mayor Kurtz and I took office January of 2020, the city had almost $32 million of debt. I'm not saying that's high. I'm not saying it's low. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just a figure. Here at the end of this year, we'll make our last debt payment. It's due December 1st. We'll probably make it around Thanksgiving. So at the end of the year, that'll leave us about $20 million in debt. So in 4 years, we've paid down $12 million of debt. It's a pretty good accomplishment. I think that's one of the things that Moody's looked at. I think that's one of the things that the Auditor of State looked at. So you're thinking, oh boy, they paid all that debt down. They must have used all their cash to do that. Well, for a while, we're in that range for a couple of years, 36 to 40 million. But you could see last year at the end of 22, we went back up to 40 million from 36. And just last week, September 30th, 2023, $48.8 million, rounded to $49 million in the bank. So we're paying down debt. The cash is increasing. And then the last metric, it's called net position. And net position is just a fancy term for, say, equity. Maybe we understand that one a little more. You have a house, it's worth, say, $300,000. you have a $100,000 mortgage in it, your equity is $200,000. Equity is what you own minus what you owe, and that the difference is equity, net worth, net position. And they asked that question. This is in our financial statement every year. Is the city as a whole better off or worse off as a result of this year's activities? And that last paragraph says, over time, increases or decreases in the city's net position are one indicator, just one, of whether the city's financial health is improving or deteriorating. So you look at it in totality, the city's net position has been going up the last couple of years. The city's equity, the city's cash has been going up. The city's debt has been going down. And that's just three metrics, but there are three important metrics, I think, that help rationalize why Moody's rated the city what they did and why the Auditor of State gave us those 16 of 17 healthy financial indicators. So I'll close with this. There's always challenges out there. There always has been. There always will be. It's called life, right? Adults, you wake up and every day is a challenge of some kind or another. But as successful as this city's been in the past, as successful it's been here in the present, as you've heard from the directors and the mayor that have spoke already and the ones that'll still speak, the right elected officials are in place. If the right administrative team is in place, the right leadership team is there, help leading this city, moving it forward, and that leadership team has the passion and purpose to govern and lead. It's got the drive and energy needed to lead it forward, and it has a vision and a plan for a better future. Listen to this carefully. It's probably the most important thing I'll say today. Dave, you know what, Dave? I forgot to congratulate you. And that thank you up front, you're just such a tremendous public servant, and you're a role model for all of us as to how we should act as public officials. City's been very successful in the past, it's very successful right now. But with that little intro to that, Independence's best days are still ahead. I'll say it again, Independence's best days are still ahead. And we've got a couple younger generations here that we're trying to set the table for them so that they could benefit from our actions. I've been very blessed. I'm thankful to have been involved in this leadership team. April of 1984. Mayor was very instrumental in getting me started in the political career, and that's 40 years next April. Father Matt, that's older than you are. So, like that line from Scent of a Woman, Al Pacino, I've been around, But Mayor, thank you again for this opportunity to speak today. Thank all of you for attending. It's a privilege to serve this wonderful community. We all call it home. God bless.
We're very blessed and fortunate to have Vern holding our money. Sometimes the directors have to scratch their head and get all worried because he holds it really tight. But it's the right way to be because he holds everyone accountable for our actions, our ideas, and I think that's commendable, except when he holds me accountable. Next, let's turn to the building and engineering departments.
The engineering department has been busy this year with a handful of noteworthy projects. Planning and engineering design for the Kleber Court Reconstruction Improvements Project began this time last year when local consulting firm Crawford, Murphy & Tilley was hired to prepare engineering design plans. The project was successfully bid out early this year, and a notice of award was issued to Katz Construction on March 16th in the amount of $1.1 million, which includes complete water main and service connection replacement, storm sewer improvements, and road reconstruction utilizing full-depth concrete pavement. New concrete sidewalks and drive aprons are also part of the project, as is tree plantings and new street lighting. The construction work began in earnest this past July and should be completed by the end of October. An identically scoped project has been planned for Longano Drive for 2024 construction. Osborne Engineering will be finalizing the engineering plans this fall. We hope to bid the project early in the new year and to start the underground utility construction this coming March or April. It has been a city priority to improve pedestrian safety and walkability in the Rockside Road Commercial District. Some years ago, sidewalks and walking paths were constructed on Quarry Lane and Oak Tree Boulevard South. This past summer, and in concert with the construction of a 6-story Class A office building to house CBiz's corporate headquarters, the city's concrete contractor, Katz Construction, recently completed a 3,000-foot sidewalk along the west side of Rockside Woods Boulevard North. This $300,000 project was funded in part by a Cuyahoga County ARPA grant and completed the sidewalk from Rockside Road to Embassy Suites Hotel, making it possible now for pedestrians to safely walk along Rockside Woods Boulevard North all the way between Rockside Road and Brecksville Road. City planning began 3 or 4 years ago with ODOT and their bridge design consultant to incorporate major branding and aesthetics to their bridge project over I-480 on Brecksville Road. Lastly, we have assisted our city planner to finalize the layout and design for the Phase 2 Maple Shade Cemetery Expansion Improvements Project, located due north of the existing cemetery limits and bounded on the north by the driveway to the Cleveland Cavaliers practice facility. Engineering design plans and bid documents were finalized this past August. 1,300 graves will be ready for sale to our residents in early 2024. That's all for the engineering department. Let's send it now over to Mike Giroux in the building department.
Hi, welcome to the building department. I'm Michael Giroux, I'm the building official. We've gone digital with a lot of our applications this year, so this is what you'd see if you came into the building department. We try to provide as much information as we can by our articles in the Post, and we also take phone calls with any of your questions here. My staff here, my team is more than happy to help you. We have Lori, the office coordinator, we have Megan, the administrative assistant, and we have Jack, the inspector.
Thank you, Ron, or Don and Mike, thanks very much. Now big round of applause. Now let's check in. We're trying to get things wrapped up. Let's check in and keep things moving with Service Director Ron McKinley via video.
When most people think of the service department, they think about large trucks and equipment and the quality services that the city provides. However, we also utilize technology to increase the efficiency. So our crews also use tablets in the field. The foremen create the work orders from their desktop computers, and they electronically send them out to the guys in the field. This is an extremely efficient way to complete the residential services. We utilize technology in the sewer department. When the residents call in with a sewer issue, we'll immediately send a sewer crew out and we will assess the situation. First and foremost, we'll go out and we'll get live video feed of the sewer so that we can figure out the best way to rectify the situation. We can see blockages, broken pipe, tree roots blocking it. This one appears to be fairly clean for the most part. But if we were to find a blockage, we'd immediately go and figure out how to remove that blockage. Here in the service department, we maintain over 300 assets. For example, single axle snow plows, tandem axle snow plows, pickup trucks, scoop sheets, sewer back trucks, home loaders, asphalt machines, asphalt rollers. We do have a strategic maintenance plan in place to assist in prolonging the longevity of our equipment. We're also experiencing many challenges this year. For example, the equipment is taking 1 to 2 years to build and deliver. The equipment orders are being cut by the manufacturers as the demand is greater than the supply. We have explored leasing versus purchasing to see if it may be a way to help the city stretch tax dollars and utilize tax money to its fullest. Not only are we challenged with prices on parts and equipment that seem to increase daily, the supply chain is not rebounding as fast as we expected, and as a result, we are facing extremely long wait times for parts and equipment. But I do have a great team. We come in every day and deliver the quality services that the residents have come to expect and deserve. Back to you, Mayor Kurtz.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation Department and Director Tom Walchanowitz. Tom has seen a lot since changes since he first started working here when he was in high school. And Tom, you haven't aged a bit. Where is Tom? He hasn't aged a bit. As mayor, I value Tom and his team of talented and hardworking employees because they don't settle for the status quo. They're always wanting to improve and expand our amenities and services. Earlier this week, the city dedicated a new dog park, the Bark Park. It's something that residents have been asking for, and Tom and his team delivered. If you visited the outdoor pool this summer and saw the new cabanas and deck furniture, these added amenities elevate the experience of enjoying the summer day poolside with family and friends. I want to wrap things up and talk about how the city goes above and beyond to communicate with residents and other stakeholders. Let me introduce our communications director, Ala Laura. She's manning the computer in the back. And assistant director, Ron Hollowell. They work hard every day to make sure that our stakeholders and the residents are both informed and educated about what's going on in the city. We produce two regular publications. There they are. Ron's got. Where's the other one, Jim? That's all right. The Spotlight. There you go. The Spotlight and the Independence Post, which are mailed out and available online on our website. Every Friday, I may email my weekly update to subscribers and also the news on the website. Every Friday, I may email my weekly update to subscribers and also the news on the website. Then on Friday nights, starting at 7 p.m., the residents receive Good Friday Evening. Neighbors? The business community wouldn't know, but I do that every Friday to our residents and people that sign up for that service. But we inform people about what's going on in the city events, activities, and reminders and notifications every week. Now I want to invite Chief Butler to recognize two residents who are doing better with good special social services award. Social Citizens Award. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Just want to point to, I'm not going to show any more videos. Sorry. Last weekend, we did have 3 pursuits with our police department, one of which you might have seen on the news. They crashed at the edge of McDonald's. One of the suspects was arrested immediately. This was a pursuit that started from another city. All 3 pursuits were from other cities, people committing crimes in other cities. They came, and you know, as I already talked about, we don't play here. And the 2 residents came up and they talked to our police officers. They asked, who were we looking for? One of the suspects was eluding us. They fled from us. We gave them a description, and they located this suspect. They called the police. They kept an eye on this suspect. And today, I would like to thank them with the first Independence Ever Award for Good Citizens. This is for Mark and Meg Morial. Could you please come up? Our officers truly appreciate what you did. They wrote emails to me about this. Our residents appreciate what you did. Thank you so much for being great citizens of the City of Independence.
Really, thank you, both of you. You've been good residents for how many years, Mark? 34 years they've been residents of our city. And they're still finding ways to give back. So finally, let's wrap this up. But before I turn it back over to Jim Riley, see what you started, Vern? It's an honor, it's my honor to be serving you for so many decades. That makes me old. Somebody asked me my age earlier. I said, really? But sincerely, it's humbling to be able to serve you. It's an honor, and God gave me the capacity or the ability to do that, and I honor him every day by working hard for you, for the business community, for the residents. Look, nothing's perfect, but Independence comes close, and we'll continue to work at. We can do better. And so on behalf of myself, the administration, all the people that serve you, thank you for everything you do to give back to us. And it's a privilege, my privilege, to serve you. And God bless. Jim Riley.